Hello everybody, it's Sarah and today I am here again with this week's Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey from Ginger Eats Lainey and the host is Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. I will leave the links to both of their channels as well as the Goodreads group in the description box down below, so go and check those out. This week's topic is our top 5 favorite first sentences. And when I started looking through my books, I first searched for sentences that I found very beautiful. But then I thought, that's actually not what makes a favorite first sentence for me. There are other categories, I guess, that are much more important for me. And so the 5 first sentences that I have now, I chose because of the way they grabbed me when I first read the book, and also the way that they now reflect the book for me. Like, after I read the book, I can now say if the first sentence is representative for the whole book or not. And I also think that that's important for a book because from a first sentence you already want to know the general tone and atmosphere of the book, even if you don't get to know that much about the actual plot or characters. So let me get started. Before I get into my 5 sentences, I of course have to mention the first sentence of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, because I think that's just such an iconic first sentence that I can't not mention it. My first favorite first sentence is from The Secret History by Donna Tartt. So, the first sentence is, "The snow in the mountains was melting and Bunny had been dead for several weeks before we came to understand the gravity of our situation." I feel like this really represents this whole book, and it sets the mood, and it grabbed me from the first second. It really made me want to continue on with this book, and I haven't regretted it since, because this has turned out to be one of my favorite books of all time. The next first sentence is from Gretel in the Dark by Eliza Granville, and this sentence goes as follows. "It is many years before the Pied Piper comes back to the other children. Though his music has been silenced, still thousands are forced to follow him, young, old, large, small, everyone." That was actually the first 2 sentences, but I am going to cheat a bit more, as you're going to see. Again, this really represents this book. It's actually not really something that ever happens in the book, but I just feel like the metaphor kind of is really fitting for this book, since part of it does play during the Second World War, and so of course like the Pied Piper is for Hitler, and I just found that this first sentence is really fitting. Next I have a whole prologue, and that is from The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, and this is kind of special because almost the whole prologue is copied word by word to the second book, so it's like the first sentence of the first and of the second book. And again, this is the first 2 sentences technically. "It was night again. The Waystone Inn lay in silence, and it was a silence of 3 parts." And then like the whole prologue goes on what those 3 parts are, and it's a really beautiful prologue. Even if you do not want to read the book, I really recommend just going to a bookstore and opening the book and just reading through the prologue and then not wanting to read the book. And what's also special about this is that the epilogue is, again, exactly the same as the prologue, and so I really love this. It's again, it sets the mood, and it's just perfect for this book. The next sentence is from Inkheart by Cornelia Funke, and I actually have the sentence on my phone. I had to research it because this book is in German, and I did not think that I could do the translation justice. And the first sentence is, "Rain fell that night, a fine whispering rain." And admittedly, that sentence doesn't sound like much, but for me it's like the first sentence of Harry Potter. It's just so nostalgic, and I just need to hear that sentence and I know which book it's from, even though it's not, it could be from any book, but I just know it, and so I had to put it in this list. The last one is of course from Anne Bishop's The Black Jewel series, because I cannot have a Top 5 Wednesday without mentioning this series at least once. And this is the first sentence. I am Thyrsa the Weaver, Thyrsa the Liar, Thyrsa the Fool. And what I love about this sentence is that it's the only time in this whole series that first person is used, like ever. And this is also the only time that we have a passage from the POV of Thyrsa, who is one of my favorite characters. And it was really fitting to use her to start this whole series, and just in hindsight, it's just so perfect for this whole series and really representative, and I just love it. And it introduces one of like the most interesting characters in this whole series, even though she's only a minor character. And actually that's also something that I really like in fantasy books. If you have the epilogue and the whole story starts with a minor character and not with one of the main characters, I think that's just really interesting, and I think it's often better suited to introducing a book. But anyways, that was it for this week's Top 5 Wednesday. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. You can also follow me on social media. I have Facebook, Twitter, Goodreads and Instagram now as well. And I hope I'll see you soon.